Imagine this. You're in your favorite bookstore, scanning the shelf where your favorite books reside, and there, nestled between the familiar spines, sits a red notebook.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's the holiday season, so I was looking for some Christmas movies to watch, and then I remember that 2 years ago I watched this show called 𝓓𝓪𝓼𝓱. It's a Netflix show with 8 episodes. Each episode lasts around 20 to 30 minutes. And it tells the story of the cynical Dash and the optimistic Lily, two teenagers who start trading a notebook that they pass back and forth at locations all across New York City. The catch is that they agree to not reveal themselves until the time feels right. So no searching in social media or trying to meet in person. They start to play this game where they dare each other to try new things and report back, giving them new challenges but also space to be honest about their feelings and what's going on with them. It's a show that plays on the excitement of meeting a new person and the anticipation of actually seeing them for the first time. But for you to truly enjoy, you have to be open and go along with what the story is trying to tell. I know that the whole idea of the show sounds crazy in real life, even though they're setting as if it was something that was happening in real life. It has so many ways that it could go wrong, so that's why they built with a fantasy element to it, which led me to attach this as sort of a modern fairy tale. But what really makes a fairy tale? There's the moral lesson, the characters, the magic, obstacles or tasks, and the happily ever after. So in here, the moral lesson of the characters is for them to be bold, go out there and adventure themselves. The characters, well, the main characters are the classic opposites attract. It might be an overused trope, but it's a good one. They're sidekicks. In the case of Dash, it's his best friend Boomer. In the case of Lily, it's her brother. They work as key elements to make the story go forward. The magic element is, of course, the Christmas spirit, because this whole show is set in New York during Christmas. But it's also the magic that we have within ourselves. Now, the obstacles and tasks for Dash and Lily are going to be the dares that they challenge one another, plus certain circumstances that involve them individually. And at last, the happily ever after. It begs the question of, will we get there? Since it's set in modern times. And if we will, then how are we going to get there? Because if this idea already sounds crazy as it is, then how is this gonna work? So yeah, those are the key elements that make Dash and Lily be this modern Christmas fairy tale. But now, let me talk a little bit about our main characters, Dash and Lily. Right off the bat, Dash is the embodiment of Scrooge if he was a teenage boy. He's bitter, gloomy, snarly, and judgy feeling. Dash is going to be our boy who is negative about Christmas. Because Christmas is a time of bad memories for him, he attaches this holiday to sadness.
It's the most detestable time of the year. The forced cheer, frenzied crowds.
You might ask me, how the hell does he get in this situation if he's so annoyed with things? Well, that's only possible because Dash and Lily are bookworms. She decides to hide the notebook in their favorite bookstore. And I don't know, he maybe just feels so compelled to resolve this mystery that he gets into the idea. Overall, Lily challenges Dash to see things on the brighter side, to become less skeptical and to believe in himself, that he can create his own magic, just like her, instead of being rational all the time, to give it another look and see how things can be different from that first sight. If Dash's journey is to become a more positive person, what exactly is going to be the challenge for Lily? Well, let's go to her. If positivity was a person, it would be Lily. She's cheerful, creative, authentic, and kind. Unlike Dash, she's positive when it comes to Christmas.
I don't care what anyone says. This is the greatest time of the year.
For her, Christmas is a time of love. It's when her grandparents met, her parents, and even her brother's ex-boyfriend. But in some ways, Lily lives in her own bubble. She feels more comfortable hanging out with adults and is apprehensive about kids her own age. She's authentically herself, but thinks she's an outsider just for being who she is. Opening up to Dash makes Lily be less afraid of connecting with new people. He challenges her to be more confident in herself, to not care about what others think and let her emotions out, especially the negative ones. What hurt her doesn't have to control her.
I don't do well with bad stuff or bad feelings. I always tell myself, when there's rain, look for the rainbow.
Now for this part of the video, we will have to go into spoilers, so I have here the timestamps. You can skip it if you haven't watched the show. You can imagine that when everything comes crashing, things wouldn't be all roses. Their first meeting goes wrong, both parties were somewhat involved with other people, and the fantasy element comes crashing down. In a way, the show reinvents the fairy tale element of happily ever after by digging on how it actually gets there. And we all know it was never gonna be on the first try. With Dash coming to his own, he realizes that they will never live to the expectations of each other, and that he should just be him, as Lily should just be her, and not try to make everything perfect or fairy tale-like.
Oh, Dash. You've read so many books, but you're still hung up on fairy tales.
What do you mean?
People think fairy tales are for girls, but who do you think wrote them in the first place?
That doesn't mean that the magic is not here anymore. With Lily having to leave for Fiji, it almost seems like it's all over, but she receives the right message at the right time and runs to their favorite place, where she finds memories all around and finally a moment alone with Dash. Things come together and they decide to give it a try, having both been changed from this experience. The mix of plenty Christmas spirit and lack thereof was only the first push to this great connection. Dash and Lily challenge each other and end up showing a new perspective of things to one another. In the end, it challenges us to be bold and not be afraid to connect with one another. They both made each other grow, and that's a power that people can have. Obviously, you can grow on your own, but a little help never hurt anyone. We just can become better people for our family, for our friends, for our partner, but especially for ourselves. It all starts with that inner magic that has been inside you all along. I know it sounded so cheesy what I just said, but it's the truth and it's the message of the show. Anyways, I hope this little video has encouraged you to watch the show or to give it a try or revisit if you already have watched it. All I know is that it really gives a comfort feeling. If you like romance, you will really enjoy it. If you like YA, you will enjoy it a lot more. But yeah guys, thank you so much for watching. Merry Christmas to all of you in any way that you celebrate, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!